Hey Trenton, when you get older, do you want kids?
That depends. If I have a good job and feel financially secure, and also I need a partner that has the same philosophy about raising kids. Oh, and what the economy is like, how much college tuition is by the time they graduate from high school. And I'm also concerned about droughts, so I'll need to be confident when I head towards a Mad Max situation.
Okay, wow, you've really thought about this, and you're actually not far off from the reason some regional governments in China are offering a loan of over $31,000 to married couples if they have a child.
Wait. What? $31,000? That seems like a lot of money, and it's pretty good incentive if you're on the fence because of financial worries.
Exactly. Let me break it down for you and explain why the Chinese government is willing to pay the big bucks for brand new bouncing babies. The reason why they're incentivizing potential parents to have more children is the population decline happening in China. You might wonder, why is population decline a problem? Well, the fewer babies born means that in the future there will not be enough workers to support the economy. This can become a serious problem when there are more older people that will need specialized care, which will likely fall to the government to support. China has had an industrial boom over the last 40 years, and many industries all over the world also rely on the Chinese labor force. If the number of babies born doesn't start to go up, then it will have a global effect.
So basically what you're saying is if the Chinese population doesn't increase, then we won't have enough people to work in the future?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but why is population decline such a problem in China?
Good question. I got you. A big part of the reason for the dwindling population in China has to do with the one-child policy, which meant that a majority of families were only allowed to have one child per household. This policy was introduced in 1980 as a result of the population growing too fast, and the concern was that there would be too many people in China and not enough food to support the large population. Unfortunately, the policy worked too well, and the result is what we're seeing today. The one-child policy was ended in 2016, and families were permitted to have 2 children. And more recently, in 2021, up to 3 children are now allowed to be born to families. But China is not the only place facing declining birth rates. Declining birth rates are happening all over the world. Researchers predict that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a likely impact on family planning due to anxiety and economic worries about the future. And beyond the pandemic, many people around the world are just waiting longer to have children because of choices to further their education, growing participation in the labor force, and delays in marriage. The population of the US has been in decline since the 1970s, and in 2021, it was reported that an average of 1.6 babies per family were being born, which is below replacement. This means not enough babies are being born to support a consistent population, and that will almost certainly have an effect on the economy in upcoming generations, much like the declining population of China.
Okay, so if population decline is a problem all over the world, why isn't the US offering a $31,000 incentive for people to have babies? I'd for sure want to have kids then.
Well, China and the US are different countries. Let me tell you more. Although China has a much larger population by over 1 billion people than the US, and both their economies are very strong, they're structured very differently. The US has more of a diversified economy, including finance, service, and consumption by the middle class. China, on the other hand, has a manufacturing-based economy, but has aspirations to grow their middle class similar to the US into a consumer-based economy. Which brings us back to the $31,000 incentive for couples to have babies. By giving new families some startup money, China is hoping they're able to maintain their growing economy.
Whoa, Giovanna, I had no idea that babies had such an effect on the future.
Yep, turns out in order to keep the world turning, we need people.
It's like we're a giant hamster wheel, and in order to keep the ball rolling, we've got to keep on moving. And by that I mean keep the world filled with people so governments and economies keep on rolling.
Interesting analogy, Trenton, but I think it works.
I equate most major potential world economic crises to hamsters.
Sure, if that works for you.